What you are about to listen to contains mature content, explicit language, bad jokes, and may not be suitable for persons under the age of 17. Listener discretion is advised.
What is up on the Gas Podcast listeners? The few that we have right now. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. I am Andrew.
And I'm Ty.
My partner in crime, as always. We did not get a chance to cover all the races we wanted to in a timely manner. So
I'm so sorry.
I said it politely. Sorry. So we meant to cover more of the rounds individually, but this time around we're going to cover 4 in 1. So I hope y'all are happy.
We're just going to finish up the East Coast, and then we should be able to be back on track with one a week.
Yeah.
Once the races are regular.
Well, once the West Coast starts, we should be good after that.
And I will take full responsibility for that, because trying to record and edit multiple videos in 1 week while working a full-time job was killing me.
Yeah. Well, not just a full-time job, but full-time job where you work night shift.
Yeah.
So,
which definitely doesn't help. There were times where, like the last couple of podcasts we did, we would record until 11 on a Sunday night, and then I would be up until 3 or 4 editing, and then trying to get a couple hours of sleep before I had to leave for work.
Yeah, it was pretty grueling on Ty, so I don't expect him to pump out that kind of content in that short of a time window. So, because I'm not trying to kill the dude, so
Thank God.
All right, so we'll kick it off. Indy round 1. What are your thoughts on that? Roczen's Ken Roczen's first win this season, and it was a mighty impressive one, I will say. It's been his first win since Phoenix last year, before the whole COVID thing started. And I was happy enough for that win, but he didn't get any more wins since then. But this one, Indy round 1, he got it. And it was quite a euphoric moment for him, I could tell, especially since after the drama with Dean Wilson getting in the way, because I truly believe that would have been his first win that week, but
Wilson.
I mean, there's been a lot of drama circling that, and
I mean, not just him though, but so far this season, lappers have been a huge problem.
They have, and it's partially with like the flaggers not knowing exactly when to wave the blue flag, and just straight up lappers not knowing who's exactly behind them. It's just a combination of things, and I know we covered this in the last episode, but I don't blame Dean Wilson a lot for this. I'm pretty sure I said I did in the last episode, but I've looked over this topic a lot more since then, and to me, it's like he probably got waved the blue flag quite a bit before Kenny and Webb were coming around him. So in reality, he probably really didn't know that it was the leaders coming around him. He probably thought it was like someone that was, because he was like mid pack. He probably thought it was like, I don't know, like 5th or 6th coming up on him or something like that.
Well, not just that, but I mean, people are getting so far ahead and so far down at the same time that pretty much the blue flag is being waved constantly.
And what they need to do is they need to establish like they need to do like a system where if you're about to be lapped, like, and the leaders are right on you, they need to wave it like more aggressively.
Yeah.
And, like, somewhat kind of point at the guy that's about to lap you. But if the leaders are like a section and a half down from you, then they'll wave it a little more gently and just kind of give you a precaution.
Yeah.
Like they have to do something like that, or because just waving the blue flag the same exact way for any circumstance, to me, it doesn't work. And I was listening to another podcast, and they mentioned something where if you're 2 laps down, just get black flag. Like, I hate to be that guy that says, like, there's a race going on and you're absolutely not in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's not even a beer this time, it's a Coke. I know. Sad.
Mexican Coke.
I wish. Real sugar.
Like, I hate to be that guy.
Oh, you're talking about the drug.
Yeah.
My bad.
Disclaimer, we don't do Coke. Like, I hate to be that dude that says if you're 2 laps down, there's a race going on that you're definitely not in, but you need to get off the track. At that point, if you're 2 laps down, you're a hazard to yourself and everybody around you.
And that was definitely the 250 class. Ooh.
Especially the East Coast 250 class as it sits right now, because there's really only 3 or 4 heavy hitters in that class right now. The rest are privateers or satellites.
Well, it's like, and we'll get into it more here in a bit, but in Indy round 2, half the 250 class didn't even finish.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And 250 East, to me, turned into which Star Racing guy is going to get it this week, which isn't exciting in the least bit. So.
Especially since fuck Craig. And on that note, let's get into Indy round 1.
Okay, let's do it. Roxon's first win since Glendale last year, and very good for him. That was kind of the confidence boost he needed to get the ball rolling on his championship hopes this year.
Yeah. Real quick, just to go to the 250s, I don't think we should waste too much time talking about it, since all it was for the 250 main event was bad luck for Lawrence.
Yeah.
And being taken out by Craig didn't fucking help.
So his crash in qualifying didn't help at all, because
it was a bad week for him.
Yeah, he went down hard in the whoops in qualifying, and then after that he he went down coming out of a corner into a small little rhythm right before the straight that goes across the finish line straight, and he went to the outside and jumped it, but there was a bunch of hay bales there, and he crashed on the hay bales. And ironically, they took those hay bales out after that. After realizing that, that could be a race line. We shouldn't put hay bales there. You fucking dipshits.
Well, it's like, we're like...
It was clear as day that was going to be a race line. Oh, let's put 2 hay bales there.
Or it's like the opposite. So, side note, we're recording this after the first round in Orlando.
Yeah,
we're going to cover Orlando at the end, obviously.
We're playing catch up a little bit, but...
They put that fucking pole in on that corner because everybody was just cutting the corner after the single.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, it was... that was quite a night for Jet. He,
so he came back and did okay in the heat. And for the main event, he had a really bad start.
Mm-hmm.
Worked his way up through the ranks, got into 3rd place, was about to take over on Craig. Or, no, he was in 2nd place. Craig was right behind him. They were coming on to that second to last corner before the finish line, and Craig just went straight into it. Did not even stop.
Oh, you're talking about the main.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a lot of speculation behind that to whether that was dirty or not. To me, there was a lot of intent behind it. He wanted to block Lawrence from passing him.
I wouldn't say it was dirty because he didn't straight up T-bone him.
Yeah.
He pushed him off the track, which is rough, but I wouldn't say dirty.
No. I don't think Craig...
But still, fuck Craig.
You know where Ty stands on him. But so I don't think it was supposed to be really like a dirty move.
Like, I mean, in the end, he ended up fucking himself over.
Yeah, he fucked both of them hardcore on that, but he didn't mean to shove them both off the track. I think they just locked bars, and at that point, they were already going that direction, and neither of them knew what to do, other than just see where it goes and then go down after that.
Yeah.
But we all saw what Craig's intentions were. It was block Lawrence so he doesn't get by me.
It was to pull Lawrence off the podium, so he would stay closer in points.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it was. It wasn't supposed to be a dirty move, but it was also very unnecessary in my eyes.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, it's like, oh no, being 30 years old almost and not being able to take it that a 17-year-old kid is faster than you. That's how I saw it.
Yeah. I mean, Indy just in general just was not good for Lawrence.
No, not really.
All right, so back to the 450s. Nothing else really exciting happened in the 250 class.
Yeah. So Marvin Muskin, he won his heat race in a 450 Heat 1, which is really good for him because he hasn't raced in a couple of years. So that was really good. It was Muscan, and then Tomac, he gave up second place to Justin Barsha that race. That was like I said, Marvin's first heat race win since 2019. So that's a good old confidence boost for him. And then Ken Roxon wins 450 heat number 2. Webb crashed in a corner, and this actually happened to a couple people. He went a little too far inside on this one corner where it was almost like a tough block, but it wasn't at the same time. It spanned the entire corner and kept the shape of the corner and everything. But it was like one big banner right there, and some guys were trying to go a little too far inside on that, and their peg kept getting hooked on it. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, I can't remember who it was, but somebody rode like half a lap with that on attached to their bike. That was kind of funny.
Yeah. So, with that being said, Adam Cianciarulo got second, and then Malcolm Stewart got third, passing Dylan Ferrandi's the last lap. So that's cool. In the 450 LCQ, Adam Echtenapp, he just seemingly kind of gave up and just rode off the track. Not really sure what happened to him. Then Brennan Hartraff moved on to the main. Then with the 250 main, back to that, Mitchell Oldenburg, he was out of the main from engine failure. So Oldenburg was pulled off from competing in the main from the AMA of suspicions of swapping out the frame, therefore changing out the VIN number. So not being the bike that he showed up with technically, but was disproven later, and he got put into the main over, for whatever reason, over the guy in the last chance, who finished 5th. Don't know why that happened, but whatever. He got put into the main after a full motor swap, and then ended up not finishing anyway because of engine failure.
Yeah, his motor blew up.
Yeah, so don't even know what was the point at that point.
Drama.
Yeah. 250 main that night. Nichols first, Craig second, and Mosman third. So a little bit with that was the checker flag waved early, or was it a mistake on somebody's part, or?
Oh, you're talking about the 250 main?
Yeah.
So, like I told you off recording, I don't know if it was a mistake. I know people were confused about it, but at that point, so the people that were still in the race were 2 laps down.
Yeah.
And half the entire lineup didn't even finish the race.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that was their way of just waving the black flag, just getting the race over with.
Okay. So, your opinion, you don't think it was a mistake?
I'm not going to say I don't think it was. I'm just saying there could be another reason. Because they never came out and said anything about it.
Yeah.
Which, that makes me feel like it was a mistake. But at the same time, it was probably a blessing in disguise kind of thing. Hell, maybe the flag man just got tired of watching that bullshit.
Well, watching the
I mean, shit, Lawrence wasn't in it. Why not?
the annihilation of everybody in the 250 class. Then, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know if it was a mistake or not, but there's been a lot of speculation on what the reason was. But I personally never saw like an actual reason or an explanation for it. So I'm kind of on both ends. I'm just like, so was it something that the officials ruled and they were just like, all right, just end it now since everybody else is so far down from the leaders, or was it a mistake from the flaggers and the AMA had no choice but to honor it?
I mean, at that point, what's another lap anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
like,
would have changed.
Yeah, not like it would make a difference in like serious point standings or anything.
Because Nichols was what?
Way ahead.
I think like 18 seconds ahead of second place.
No, Nichols and Craig weren't that far apart. I think it was like 7 seconds, something like that. But between like third and fourth place, yeah, it was like 20 some seconds.
I don't even think there was a fifth place.
I mean, there was, but did it matter really?
I mean,
not so much.
Just that crash on the hole shot alone took out, like, permanently took out like 4 people from the race.
Mm-hmm.
And then just throughout the rest of the race, people just were dropping like flies.
Yeah. So that same night,
come back from a quick break, and the first thing I do is kick my computer.
So that same night, 450 main, Roxon early lead in the 450 main. Tomac and Webb seemed to have slow starts, but throughout the race, Tomac was making a lot of moves very quickly. Tomac worked his way up to third. Cooper Webb stayed pretty stagnant that night. Didn't make a whole lot of moves. Stayed in like 6th or 7th that night, I think. He did get around Malcolm Stewart at one point. And then Stewart tried to pass him back in the whoops. And that's when Stewart kind of like whiskey throttled a little bit and ended up on the other lane.
He quit racing Supercross and tried to become a rodeo rider.
Yeah.
And he did not do well.
It's absolutely what it looked like.
Yeah. Threw him straight off the fucking bike. Kind of funny.
Like, I was surprised he didn't like throw one hand up trying to tame the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of funny to watch, but also disappointing because, like, Webb got around him. So, results of that race, it was actually, other than that, it was a pretty uneventful race. Roxon first, Barcia second, Tomac third. I mean, other than, the only real, like, eventful thing that was going on about it was, Tomac was on an absolute mission the entire time after he worked up to third, but Barcia did a fantastic job holding him off to keep that second place spot.
And without having to really ride dirty.
Yeah, not really. Like,
he just made the right choices on when to pass or when to block the pass and everything.
Mm-hmm. I give him a lot of props because holding off Tomac when he's on a mission, that's not easy to do. So.
Oh shit! One thing we forgot to say about the main event for the 450s in Indy 1, when Barcia kicked Stewart's bike. Just straight up karate kicked that shit.
Yeah, so I mean, there's been some talk about that too. Turns out there was nothing like malicious behind it.
No, he was getting the bike was stuck on Stewart.
Yeah, so
and he kicked the bike off of Stewart.
Yeah, and he was able to just like fucking like Cobra Kai that shit right off of him.
Yeah,
so, it was more just funny than anything.
Yeah. there was not, you could tell there was nothing malicious about that.
No, which at first glance it looked like it. It looked like he did it out of frustration, but
then watching the replays and actually being able to analyze what happened, it was obvious what was going on.
Yeah, it wasn't anything bad. It was just.
I mean, I'm sure he got a little extra strength from some
frustration.
But we're just gonna glance over that word. But it wasn't towards Stewart personally.
Yeah, no, yeah, not really. He was just it was just heat of the moment. Like hey, bike's on top of him, just kick it off real quick, get up, get back on your bike, then go.
Yeah.
So.
Not surprising that Stewart went down again.
Yeah. So, Indy round 3. To me, this was Lawrence's mini comeback from the previous round. He won his heat race, which was good for him. Craig and Nichols, they run away with 250 heat too. In my opinion, it was a lack of competition. Like I said, the field for 250 East right now is pretty light. Not a whole lot of heavy hitters in there. It's more privateers and satellite riders.
Yeah, you got the guys that are always on the bottom, the guys that are always on top, and then there's Sushi. He's either always in the middle of the pack, or he's up on the fucking podium.
I mean, yeah, last couple rounds he's been better. He hasn't finished any worse than 5th place, but yeah,
he's not the greatest, but he's consistently not the greatest.
Yes, and I'm sure Mitch is happy about having at least one rider on his team doing well. Mitch Payton of the Monster Kawasaki. Pro Circuit Kawasaki, I should say. Then Roxon wins heat number 1. Then Tomac catches him towards the end, but not quite enough to take the win away from him. Justin Barsha wins heat number 2. Then 450 LCQ, 7 Deuce gets final transfer spot. One of the few mains that he's made this year. Good on him. So 250 main of Indy 3. Colt Nichols crashed early on the first lap of the 250 main. He cross ruts out of a corner, so giving Craig the lead.
And that was an early crash too.
Yeah, so Craig held on to that lead for the entire race. Nichols worked his way back up to 3rd, though, so that was good on him. Joe Shimoda in 2nd, also good on him. Jet Lawrence works his way back up to 5th after a 10th place start. He just got a bad start. Holds off Nickel for a little while, but gets caught up with lappers.
That was the race where Lawrence was all the way on the opposite side of the field on the gate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's really, when you're all the way on the outside of the corner, there's no way you're getting the whole shot.
Yeah.
Him being back in 10th was not a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible to get the whole shot on the outside, but, like, it's a pretty long shot to do that.
Possible and probable are different. Anything is possible. But will it happen? 99% chance, no.
Yeah. So, I mean, Lawrence probably would have held off Colt to the end, but like I said, he got cut up with the lappers. He checked up on the finish line jump to avoid hitting Jeremy Hand, one of the privateer riders. So it was either finish 4th or finish last from crashing out from an incident like that. So he's smart on that port for doing that. So 450 main that night. Roxon 1st, Webb 2nd, Musquin 3rd. That is Musquin's podium since probably like 18 or 19, I imagine. And then like the battle between Roxon and Webb, that was a pretty good one. It was all the way down to the last lap. Like give it another lap, Webb probably would have got him, but Roxon stayed consistent the entire race and was able to hold him off the entire time. So
I just wish he wasn't on the podium so we didn't have to see him standing there like a fucking Karen. I mean, seriously, who fucking stands like that?
I know. Like, standing like he's about to place a complicated coffee order or something.
Like, what the fuck? I get it. He was trying to show off his sponsors, but he didn't have to look like a white dude from the suburbs trying to throw up gang signs. Like, for real. Like, on that group we're on Facebook, that was the biggest thing that come out of that race, was all of us making fun of Webb.
In that group, yes. But I mean, well, probably the biggest thing in that race was Webb just coming back and like that last lap charge that Webb seems to have just came back and put it to Roxon. Like I'll give him props for that. I'm a Roxon fan through and through, but like I got to give credit where it's due, and he caught right up to him. So
Can you not put your nuts in your mouth while we're recording?
I like it.
God damn it. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, I guess I'm not charging my phone. Just needs a fucking exorcist.
Well, your phone opens Snapchat whenever it wants to, apparently. So
What do you mean?
that one time we're all just chilling and hanging out, you're doing something on your phone and it opens Snapchat by itself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My phone can be weird. A tad. Probably doesn't help that I dropped it like 4 times today.
Another topic we need to talk about.
Let's talk about it. We've been recording the whole time.
I know. Okay, so whoa.
Sorry.
Not on air.
Well, I was planning on doing it onto the table.
Oh my god. God damn it, where the fuck were we?
We were making masturbation jokes.
Before that.
Oh. I don't know. Oh.
Web stance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so male Karen stance. Okay, got that out of the way. So that's all 3 of the indie rounds. That was Ken Roxon's first three-peat, as far as I know. Because he had a bit of a stint back in like 16 and 17 being like one of the elite riders, but after his arm injury in 17, couldn't really put it together after that.
Couldn't put it together.
Couldn't put it together after that. But in 2021, he came strong in the indie rounds and said, you know what, I'm going to 3-peat all these, and did exactly that. So, which is great for him. I would love to see Roxon get a 450 title because, to me, in my opinion, he's the most deserving of it. He's been through a lot of shit.
It doesn't matter.
He's been through a lot of shit.
It's a sport about skill.
I know that, but I'm just saying, he's been through a lot of shit, and he's one of the only heavy hitters to not have a 450 title. So,
I've been through a lot of shit. Where's my 450 title?
are you racing 450 Supercross?
No.
Okay. Did you obliterate your arm and you're still fucking racing Supercross? No.
No, but I hurt my shoulder and still had to carry a light machine gun.
You weren't racing Supercross though, were you?
No, I was in Iraq.
Okay. Also very respectable. I'm not discrediting you, but I'm just saying you weren't racing 450 Supercross.
What the comparison? Oh,
Not much comparison in reality, but
I know. Apparently, 450 Supercross is so much more important.
it's not more important. That's not what I'm saying. Shit, endurance. Anyway, so it would have been a Roxon Tomac Barsha podium, but Mr. Vince Freezy had to
Pull a Wilson.
put his hat into the ring again. So he got waved the blue flag, as far as I could see, and pulled right into the race line, the fast line, and I've said this a few times, but there's been speculation towards this. A lot of people are saying, what did you expect him to do? That was a race line. He wasn't just going to move over.
He wasn't in the race anymore.
And that's what I've been saying too. There's a race happening behind you. You're not in it. Move the fuck over. That's the rule in the AMA rulebook. Move over and then move your line. Not just hold your line. That's fucking stupid. Anybody that thinks that, you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry. It's not just hold your line on the fastest line.
Especially if, the guys who are about to lap you are the podium guys.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of the way.
And the guys that are lapping you, the guys that are lapping everybody else, those lappers, they're still professional racers. They know better. They know how to get out of the way. They know how to yield to the faster riders coming around them. They know how to get out of the way and hold their line. It's not that hard. Like, and am I just crazy when I say that, or is it?
You're always crazy.
Or is it a real fucking thing?
It's a real thing. Like,
get out of the fucking way and hold your line.
Exactly.
It is.
See, and that's where the pros have more patience than I do. If I was lapping somebody and they weren't getting out of the fucking way, guess what? I'm kicking your ass over.
Yeah. And back to Wilson and Roxon a couple rounds ago. Roxon's a lot nicer than I am. I would have punted his ass right out of the way.
And that's why we don't race Supercross.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my opinion on lappers. Like, I get it. They pay the same amount of money as everybody else to go and race, but there needs to be something. Like, when you're 2 laps down, to me, you're more of a hazard than anything else.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, if you're lapped, if you're to the point where you're not even earning points anymore, and if you get lapped by the last guy who is earning points, you should get black flag.
Yeah, that's a great way of looking at it too.
Like, if there's no chance of you even getting points, get off the track.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's like, why?
Yeah.
So
you're just ruining the environment at that point.
Just emitting more fumes.
Go back to your expensive trailer and do that.
Well, anybody getting lapped 2 times isn't going back to a trailer. They're going back to
That's not true.
Okay, they're going back to a enclosed trailer. Sorry. They ain't going back to a semi. Or they're going back to an enclosed trailer or just a pickup.
If I was racing Supercross, I'd show up just in a pickup.
You show up in your Honda Accord.
With bike strapped to the top?
No, with no, with a with a ball hitch attached to it and a little tiny hay trailer.
Hey, I almost did that with my Ford.
I did it in one of my Civics when I lived in Belfair. Not even kidding. That thing had a hitch on it, and I put a ball hitch on it.
And I almost put a hitch bar on my Escort.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that with my Honda because I'm gonna tune that thing.
Oh, it's legit. You do what you got to do to ride.
I want an El Camino.
Buttery's got an El Camino. He loves that shit.
Why would you not want a Camaro that you can haul a dirt bike around in? Oh, I just said Camaro.
El Camino, yeah.
No, I meant to say Chevelle when I said Camaro. I'm going to hell. I need to commit seppuku.
The Chevy fanboys are gonna rip you apart now.
I
know. Anyway, Orlando won. So, Nichols runs away with 250 Heat 1, not surprising. Christian Craig fell in Heat number 2, possible wrist injury. He mistimed a triple and came up short on the last jump and fishtailed after that. And then
that was gnarly.
Yeah, it was a pretty gnarly wreck. I'm actually pretty surprised he came back after that. Because like he almost made it completely, but it's like his back wheel just came up just that much short, and then his rear end just kicked out, and he fishtailed, and the bike threw him off, and then he wound up in the hay bales, like at the apex of the corner.
Yeah. And then it was looking like he was going to be out for the rest of the night, and then he still lined up for the LCQ. Once he lined up for the LCQ, they should have just given it to him. Because he ran away with that.
I mean, towards the end, yeah, he gained some time, but like for first few laps at LCQ, like I forget what his name was, the dude on the Cowie, but he actually kept up with him quite a bit. And like, granted, this was because his wrist was hurting, so he wasn't giving 100%. But
Yeah, just like how Barsha was stuck in first.
are you still on that?
Yes, because how the fuck was he in first?
Again, if he was stuck in a gear, I think he was stuck in second, not first.
Yeah.
Because I know a factory 450 can and will clear all those jumps in first gear, but he would have been on the rev limiter the entire time. And
I think after a full race, that bike would have blown up. It would not have made it to the end of the race.
Yeah.
If he was riding like that in first the entire time.
I don't know. Those factory bikes are built to take abuse, but still, I don't think it was first. I think it was second gear, honestly. I think someone somewhere got something wrong and said it was first.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's neither here nor there. Or there.
or near.
Why can't we talk tonight?
I don't know.
We're not even drinking.
Okay.
Maybe that's the problem. We're not drinking.
Should we go grab a couple Paps? Paps, sponsor us.
Please.
We bought so much of your fucking beer, it's not even funny.
We need money.
We need rent money. All right, we'll be right back.
That's back from our beer run. Going back to Craig.
Alrighty. So, Christian Craig, yeah, he suffered a pretty gnarly fall in his heat race, and then was holding his wrist for quite a while, kind of babying it a little bit. So we all kind of anticipated that he was out after that, but he lined up for his LCQ and won it, like we were mentioning, and then went on to go race in the main as well. So that's pretty impressive right there after such an early fall. And then 250 heat number 2, Lawrence won that with quite ease. And then with the 450 heat race, heat number 1, Shane McElrath, he hole shotted it and led for quite a while over Tomac, which was like quite a surprise in my opinion, because this was his first race back all season after coming off an injury, and for him to show that much speed and consistency was speed.
It's just like you enunciated that word differently.
Just yeah.
Just came back with so much speed.
That much speed and consistency. Sorry.
Speed.
Do you want me to say it a little less aggressively?
I am speed.
I am Lightning McQueen. Please don't demonetize this, Disney.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow. Don't sue us, Owen Wilson. Sponsor us, Paps. We may have to pay off some lawsuits.
No, sponsor us, Owen Wilson and Pabst.
Why would Owen Wilson sponsor us?
We will say "wow" a lot.
Is that something he wants?
I don't know. It'll remind people of him.
He'll pay us to stop saying
as
blackmail
as we continue to say it.
Wow.
Wow. God damn it.
We just opened these beers, too. We went from not being able to pronounce words.
Way to make us sound like a bunch of fucking pussy lightweights.
I've taken 2 drinks.
And then Because you said, we just opened these, we're already getting goofy.
I did not say that.
You implied it.
You're such a woman. Now that's gonna have to be cut because that would get us demonetized. Okay, what were you talking about?
Shane McElrath leading the first 450 main over Eli Tomac, like I was saying. And actually held him off for quite a while. It wasn't until like mid-race until Tomac was able to make a move on him and make the pass stick. And yeah, coming off an injury, that's pretty impressive. So it goes without saying, Tomac got that one, McElrath second, and then kind of surprised me later on that night. McElrath, he didn't do very well in the main. He finished like pretty far on the back of the pack. So,
well, he went down early, didn't he?
I don't think so. And I think he just faded.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to. There is a lot to be said there because a heat race, it's more or less like a sprint race because how short it is. But a main event, that's more endurance.
Yeah.
So that could
Because
be
what the main of or the a heat, it's what 10 minutes.
No, not even close. It's like 5 minutes.
I thought that was the LCQ that was only 5 minutes.
No, LCQ is even shorter. No,
because I know the main event's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, 250s it's 15 minutes, 450s it's 20 minutes plus a lap.
Shows how much I pay attention.
Yeah, great co-host.
Well, I thought the 450 was so I thought it was 20 minutes plus 2.
It depends. Like 9 times out of 10, it's going to be 20 minutes plus 2 laps every now and then, depending on how the race is going. Yeah, it's very, very rare, but it can be 20 minutes plus 1 lap.
Well, I think it all depends on when the timer ends versus when they cross that finish line.
Yeah,
because there's times that that 20-minute timer will end right before they cross that finish line, and then it will be final lap.
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, it's 20 minutes plus 2 laps. So. Then 450 heat number 2, Roxon takes off with that. Nobody gave him a run on that. And then after, like aforementioned, Craig's crash in his heat, he lines up for the LCQ. He wins the LCQ, but looks like he's kind of just like pussyfooting it a little bit. He's wasn't really going for it or anything. Not like he really has to. It's the LCQ. Just make sure you're up there and you're good. But it was almost kind of like when Lawrence at Indy after he got in his crash on the tough blocks out of the corner. Remember, he won the LCQ too, but it was the same thing. Kind of laggy. Looked like something was off. You know, the same race where he.
Well, they weren't pushing it.
Yeah, they're not pushing it because they don't have to. But it also tells a lot about how they're feeling, like when it comes to their riding. So, but
it's like when I was playing the Supercross game and I got tired of always making it to the main, so I would purposely lose the heats to have to race the LCQ.
You poor thing, you got tired of making the mains.
I know. It's like in Madden. Sometimes just to make things interesting, you have to purposely lose a game. You know, when you get to your 35th season, it's kind of boring to be undefeated for 35 years.
Yeah, I'm sure. Never really played Madden, so I wouldn't know. But 450 LCQ, Wilson won that.
Wilson!
Wilson!
Get the fuck out of the way!
Okay. You remember that post?
Mm-hmm.
When they were showing the race from when Wilson got caught up with Roxon and Webb, and they were playing clips from Castaway.
Yeah. I think
Wilson!
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good clip.
So that was a little bit of a comeback for him because it's still technically a race and he won it. So 7 deuce, he crashed out of that race, so he would not be in that main event, unfortunately. So 250 main, Lawrence kind of took off and then never looked back. He got the whole shot in that race and was damn near perfect the entire time. He didn't slip up or anything. He came out on top of that one. Colt Nichols had a very aggressive charge through second half of the race and worked his way up to second. And Christian Craig, despite everything else that happened earlier that night, he wound up in third. So it was a great ride for him. All in all, pretty uneventful 250 main. It was it was pretty textbook, pretty rinse and repeat. Like it was the same usual top three that we all expected, and it was a good clean race.
Yeah, and it's sad to say, but for the final race for the East Coast, it was a pretty boring race.
Mm-hmm. It was an uneventful race, but it was also a pretty good redemption race for Jet.
I mean, yeah.
After the shit he went through in Indy, like it was a good comeback for him. So
He definitely needed it, but I'm just in the overall aspect. For a finale, it was kind of a boring race.
Yeah,
and they really didn't hype it up that much either, as like the finale before Salt Lake.
Yeah, it was almost just kind of like
just like whatever, let's get this shit over with.
It was just kind of like business as usual, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and
because normally they do like kind of put on a bigger show for it, being like, oh, this is especially for the East Coast guys because now they're not riding until Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
So normally when they do that and they transfer over, they kind of make it a bigger show for the guys.
Yeah.
But they didn't do anything like that this year. Thanks, COVID.
COVID fucked everything up. But
speaking of COVID, that stadium was packed.
More than Indy was, yeah. I wouldn't say packed, but it did obviously have a higher capacity.
Well, and I do know Florida does.
They're also in Florida. So.
Yeah, Florida has no restrictions.
Yeah,
they have guidelines, but they have no legally enforced restrictions.
Yeah, because their governor is cool. He doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, honestly, they could have had a packed stadium, and there's nothing to tell them that they couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
It was just Monster Energy Supercross, brought to you by Monster Energy Supercross, produced by Monster Energy Supercross,
presented by Monster Energy Supercross,
in partnership with Monster Energy Supercross,
in association with Monster Energy. Who would have thought? Can y'all fucking come up with something else for your goddamn fucking title?
That's the one ad we get on Peacock, and it's great.
Every single time. Monster Energy Supercross, brought to you in part by Monster Energy, a proud partner of Monster Energy Supercross. Wow! Who would have fucking thought?
You're getting very emotional about this.
It's annoying. I'm sorry.
I think it's fantastic. I love it. It's my favorite commercial ever.
Because the total obviousness of it, probably. So, would you ever like to see a change in Supercross as a partnership?
Within Monster? Like, getting rid of Monster?
Besides, like, Monster?
No.
Would you ever like to see, like, Red Bull Energy Supercross?
Fuck no.
No?
No. Because I drink Monster all the time.
I do too.
And I'm a Monster Kawasaki fan.
Okay, I forgot I was talking with a fanboy here, but...
Okay. No, I mean...
Just to change it up a little bit, because it's been Monster Energy Supercross since, like, 2008, 2007, so...
Can we bring back Camel Supercross?
Like the 90s?
Yes.
Camel Smoker Cross?
Yes.
That would be cool, I'm not gonna lie.
It's kind of hypocritical that they can have alcohol sponsorships, but they can't have nicotine.
I mean, I don't think that's the case. There's just no, like, cigarette or nicotine providers that are, like, interested in being part of it anymore. in my opinion.
I think there's an actual, like, you cannot be a sponsor if you're sponsoring, like, nicotine.
I mean, there could be something like that, but I don't recall ever seeing anything like that. Because, like, I remember seeing something a while ago saying, like, you couldn't sponsor anything in motorcycle racing if it had to do with alcohol, but we saw how far that got. There's a Twisted Tea sponsor now.
Right.
So,
Well, it's like the same thing. They said the same thing about NASCAR, too.
mhm.
And it's like, you're going to tell these you can't sponsor the rednecks?
Which is stupid in itself. You're going to tell all these motherfuckers that, like, sorry, you can't drink your Bud Light anymore. We can't sponsor it.
Well, that was the whole thing. Like,
we can't condone it.
Their intentions were pure because they didn't want to promote drinking and driving, but they did not realize who their fan base was.
Yeah, a bunch of rednecks that drink Bud Light and Busch Light and shit like that. So
Busch makes a light?
Busch Light, yeah.
Oh, gross.
You didn't know that?
No, I can't tell you it's gross.
Bro, you're from Belfort too. You should know that.
I haven't drinking a Busch since I was like 12. All right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
Yeah.
No. All right. So. Orlando round 1. So.
We're starting over from the beginning?
No.
Okay.
I gotta hope not. So 450 main. In my opinion, fairly uneventful. The battle between Roxon and Webb was pretty good at the beginning, but there were just too many small places here and there that Webb just had that little extra edge over Roxon to where he could just keep gaining a little bit here and there every single lap. And that's why he started off only like a quarter second ahead of him, and by the end of the race, he was almost 3 seconds ahead of him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, granted, towards the end, Roxon kind of kicked it into high gear and put it down to probably like second and a half, but I mean, by like the third to last corner, there was no way, unless Webb fell, but
of course the Karen survived.
Mil Karen.
The Karens of Supercross.
If any of y'all follow Nuke the Quads on Facebook, me and Ty posted a few pictures of Webb on the podium where he's got his Mil Karen stance. So yeah, so we like to poke fun at him every now and then, but
I like poke fun at him all the time.
Yeah,
because fuck Webb.
I'm not a fan by any means, but I mean, respect is due where it is. He
doesn't deserve any.
that being said, he's out there winning 450 Supercross mains. That's not easy to do. So, you know, yeah. So that's pretty much it for our coverage on Supercross for now. So,
okay? Hold up. So who's leading the 250 East? It's Nichols, right?
Cole. Yeah.
And then
Roxon's still leading 450s.
And he's ahead by 6 points from Webb.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Roxon, I wouldn't say it's a healthy lead, but he would have to finish like outside of top 3, and Webb would have to win or come in second.
Which is very possible.
Yes, for Webb to take it over. So, and like I've said a couple times, I really hope Roxon takes it this year, because Tomac and Webb have already gotten 450 Supercross championships.
Tomac just got his
last year's.
Let him have it for a couple years.
No. You might as well say the same thing to Webb then.
Fuck Webb.
Because he got his 2 years ago.
Okay, well he can retire.
So can Tomac then.
Fuck you.
If we're going on that kind of thinking.
I like Tomac. I don't like Webb.
Get your 450 championship. Okay, retire. There you go. That's the thinking you're thinking.
You're the one saying people deserve it.
Okay. Is there anybody in the field right now more deserving than Roxon?
Tomac.
No, he already got one.
You're only allowed to have one, people.
Apparently. In that case, let Roxon get his one, and then he can retire gracefully. Gone are the days of McGrath and his 7, or Carmichael and his 5. No, fuck all that. You get one and you're done. Or
No.
Stewart and his 3, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No
And
wonder
then
why
Stewart and Reed and his 2. Like,
No wonder why. Well, Reed's retired, but no wonder why Craig doesn't want to move up to the 450s. He knows he'll have to retire.
because he's 30 years old, and at this point, he probably won't get a 450 championship, if we're being honest.
I don't think he's ever going to get a 450 sponsorship,
No.
let alone a championship.
No.
At this point, who's going to sponsor? They're all going. Everybody's going after young guys.
So at this point, what I think would happen with Craig is it would either take one of the guys on Honda or one of the guys that's in Star Racing Yamaha right now to retire next year. So like Aaron Plessinger. So
No, he's not going anywhere.
So I mean I don't think so either. But if he was to get dropped for some reason by Star Yamaha or to retire, then yeah, Craig would move up into that spot, no questions asked. I think. Or
I don't know. I think Nichols would move up before him.
no, because Nichols still has another year in the 250s, even after he wins his championship. Craig needs to move up after this year.
Does he need to?
Yes.
Does he deserve it?
No, because after this year, he'll point out. He won't be eligible for the 250s anymore. And
No.
I
Sad
think,
to see him go.
I'm sure you are. And at this point, I don't think it would really hurt like RCH Honda to pick up a third 450 rider. And if that's the case,
Aren't teams limited to 2?
No, it's all about money. And I'm pretty sure Honda's got plenty. So if they really wanted a third rider, why not pick up Craig?
I'm thinking MotoGP. They're limited to 2 riders.
Yeah. Like a Rockstar Husqvarna. They're a 450 class. They got a Anderson, Osborne, and Wilson. There's 3. So.
Damn it.
Shit. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of On the Gas Podcast. I am Andrew, as always, and
I am Ty, aka Northwest Ninja. Follow me on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. And Indeed.
Same goes for On the Gas Podcast for all other social media platforms besides YouTube. All right, we will see you guys next time. Later.